Hello and welcome back to Foundry. It's been over a year since the last time we took a look at this game, well, since the first time we took a look at this game, and a lot has apparently changed. They've spent that year really focusing on developing some new enhancements to the game, making some big changes, and keeping pretty silent about it until recently. Although recently they've been talking about what they've done, some of the stuff they've done at least, and some of the new stuff we should expect to see in the next version. They've also announced a couple of other things. One, that they have partnered with the publisher, Paradox Interactive. Whether that's a recent development or something earlier on in the last year plus, I'm not sure, but they have partnered with Paradox Interactive, and they are preparing or have a demo that is going to be available on Steam or in Steam Next Fest next week, the week of October 9th. And so you can take a look at the game in the demo there on Steam during this week coming up. But if you all recall from my last series, I picked this up on itch.io before I played that series. And so I have access to that demo a little bit early. And so I'm going to play that for you starting today. We're going to do a few episodes, I don't know how much, and into next week to bring you guys an earlier look at this demo, as we will see it in that Steam Next Fest. And if I can finagle it during Steam Next Fest, I will also try to do a multiplayer game with a couple of the usual suspects. I don't know if we'll be able to schedule it, but if we can, I would like to do a quick multiplayer look, just to kind of experience what the multiplayer game feels like in terms of interactivity and responsiveness and things. But for now, we're going to do a single-player game, of course. This is version 0.5, etc. there. The last version we looked at was a 0.4 based version. So while the version number hasn't jumped that much, the game sure has, based on what I've seen. So I just created a quick test game just to have a look around a little bit and remember the controls and things, but I haven't looked at the new content all that much, so we're going to take a look at that in this series and the new gameplay, anything else that is in the demo. The demo will stop at a certain point in terms of technological advancement. I don't know what that point is, but there is a stopping point, and so once we hit that point, obviously we will need to stop. The demo will be available to play as much as you would like. There was a thing that popped up here that I accidentally closed when I was fiddling with settings and things that shows maybe the about will tell us that. Nope, does not. Okay. The show that says the demo will be available to play as much as you would like. It's not a time-limited demo. It's a tech-limited demo. So you can definitely play that early to mid-game or wherever it stops as much as you would like, as long as the demo is available on Steam, which I don't know if they're taking it down after Next Fest or if it'll be up there for an extended period. But either way, if you're interested in the game, by all means, take a look at it during the demo, or during Next Fest when the demo is available, and let me know your thoughts on it as well, as always, when you play it yourself, and as you watch the videos, of course, either in the chat during the premieres, or in the comment section, or come to my Discord server. You can find a link in the description below, and talk to me about the game there. I think I have a channel dedicated to it as well. So let's go ahead and do a new game. The new game is a very basic setup, literally just a randomized string or seed here, seed number. I don't have any seeds in mind. We're just going to see what happens. So let's just click a random one there and go. This is one of the first new things, an intro cinematic with some really, exciting sounding interlude there, and
welcome, operator.
Neat new graphics.
I'm Carl, your facility management artificial intelligence. My goal is to assist you in setting up a factory. Let's run a few basic checks before we get started. Open your map to check your surroundings.
So the thing with this tutorial here, this orientation tutorial, is it says open your map, but it doesn't tell you how to open your map. One way to do it is just to press M for map. It's down
Fantastic.
here, but you can't
There
even
are several ore patches in the vicinity.
mouse over.
Equip your ore scanner from the inventory and use it to locate the ore patches.
You can't even mouse over these buttons until you open a panel, so I don't know. I think they need a little bit of clarification on that, although there is the F2 for detailed information. So you can kind of do that, and it tells you that those are there, and then you can see that, but you have to then use the hotkeys. So that's a little bit clunky, I think, but I think overall it's better than what we had before, which is, I think, almost nothing. So it wants me to equip the ore scanner also, and we can see that here in this information screen. But basically we need to go into our backpack, grab the ore vein scanner, and drop it into the toolbar here. And then we can hit 2 to bring that up, and that equips the ore scanner, and then we can literally click to use the ore scanner.
To get started, approach both of the ore patches and mine some ore.
Okay. We'll see the technum ore there, and it gives you like a little grid, and the xenoferrite is, where'd it go? I waited too long. Over there, it gives you a little like grid box grid thing here to show you like how big the ore patch is, how deep it is, and all of that. So it's a really nice little feature there. And then of course we want to just drill these nodes that are here on top. Whenever you drill something, the inventory, it automatically goes in your inventory, so you don't have to like pick parts up off the ground. And these nodules will give you a large sum of ore each time you drill them, but there's a limited number of them. So it's kind of a twofold system to the ore in the game. One is to collect it by drilling these nodules, and then one is to collect it by drilling the ground itself. But when you drill the ground, I'll just show you here, you get a 2 per drill action, and it doesn't actually destroy the voxel, but you don't get a whole lot per drill action. Whereas this, when I drill it, I'm getting 25 or 18 or maybe 15 or something on the low end. But I'm getting a lot more per drill action. So early game, it's definitely best to do it this way. And I'm just going to collect all of these nodules, even though it says to collect 100 ore. I'm just going to collect all of these little nodules here, and we'll just, have it all on us. We gathered 365 technum ore, and I think the xenoferrite was over here. If we're not sure, we can always do scan again, and it'll give us, yep, there it is. It'll give us that. And you can see the little things coming up, but I wanted to show the box thing again. Because actually that's a really nice improvement over what we had before, which wasn't much at all. From what I remember, like you scanned, and then you had to look on the map, and then you had to kind of just figure out which direction it was in and walk there, and then you'd find it eventually. So this showing you that that grid. Yep, thank you. We finished it.
Now that we have an initial supply of ore, we need to smelt it into plates and rods. Go back to your drop pod and use the built-in smelters to create your first crafting materials.
Okay. That's the other thing that's new. You can't actually smelt ore in your inventory anymore. You actually have to smelt it in the drop pods component rather than in your inventory. And that kind of takes the place of that smelting in your inventory thing, because it's a poorer recipe there than what you get in like the smelter, which we will get soon enough. I think I got them all. If I'm not, I got most of them. It's a poorer recipe, but it gets you started. And the other cool thing here is it's actually 2 smelters, so you can insert some of each, and it actually inserts 200 at most. That's because I think it stacks in 200. Yeah. So let's auto sort that. We have a lot more xenoferrite than we have technum, but you also need, I missed a technum nodule up there. You also use a bit more xenoferrite in the early game, I think, than you use the technum, so that's kind of fine. Once we get to 10 of each, because that's what the system wants us to do, we'll pull those out, and then we'll let the rest of it just kind of keep going. It's a 2-to-1 ratio in this machine, so kind of keep that in mind in terms of, what it takes to do
Now that we have basic materials available, we should start crafting building blocks which act as a foundation for other buildings.
Okay.
To do so, you need to open the crafting menu and click the desired items.
Crafting menu
Then,
is
place
C.
them in the shape of a platform next to one of the ore patches.
And we're going to need a lot more xenoferrite plates to craft the 25 building blocks it wants us to craft. One craft of these makes 10, so we'll need to craft 3 of those. So let's take some more of these things here. And I keep pressing tab, which toggles through these bars. I'm thinking of other games or something where I press tab to see the crafting screen. And so, yeah, that's a flaw on my part. So we've made those things. We need to mine the xenoferrite and the technum. I'm going to start with the xenoferrite because, well, like I said, I think you use xenoferrite a little bit more. And in order to set up the mine, we need to set these foundation blocks up. And that's kind of how everything is based, is on these building blocks. Kind of similar to, you know, other games we've played if you didn't see this one before, but also a bit different at the same time, because these have this really... I was actually very impressed with this grid on how to build kind of in a 3-dimension thing here, and you can continue building whether you're above or below, and it gives you this little, you know, this blue grid. Also, there's a dimension number near the top center of my screen. It says 5 by 5 right now, and so we can easily see where we're at in terms of size and dimension, just like that.
To automate ore extraction, we need to set up a drone miner. Craft one and place it on top of your foundation right next to the ore patch.
Yeah, I need some more stuff. Go back over there. Interesting, we kind of landed here in a little valley. Yeah, I guess it's either a valley or a crater, one or the other. Drone miner. Let's see what we got for... Wait, it's not going to tell me what we have for other stuff because it hasn't unlocked it yet. You get one thing unlocked at a time in the tutorial, which is limiting if you want to just skip through the tutorial and not really follow it. So hopefully they will have the option later to be able to skip the tutorial. But for now, you have to do the tutorial. Let's do... It doesn't matter, I guess. We can do... Let's do maybe over here. Alright, so we place the drone miner.
And most other buildings require power to function. Let's build a biomass generator on the same foundation as the drone miner. Once built, you need to harvest some plants and trees with your mining drill to collect biomass. Insert the biomass into the generator and it will start to power all buildings on the same foundation as the generator.
So we need to have some biomass. Biomass comes from, well, organic stuff, but these little plants and things are not actually collectible. They're decorative. But trees will give you biomass, 15 for that one. Rocks will give you stone, which I think mining some of the ground will also give you stone if it's stone ground. But then cacti, that'll give you stone as well. The stone formations will give you stone, I assume. And these different plants and things will give you the biomass. I'm gonna get a little bit extra, just so we have a little bit more, because we kind of will need it. You need a lot of biomass. And also gonna grab while I'm here what we can from these machines, or this machine, I should say. Is that a critter? No, it's a plant of some kind. I thought it was like a spider or something. And I didn't think there were critters in the game yet, but yeah, let's drop. Well, all of it. I didn't really want to do.
Mining drones acquire your first automated ore. Aren't they beautiful? Anyways, we need to get going. Let's build a smelter next.
So there's our drones. There are 4 of them in a drone miner, and they will just they'll collect 4 ore, and then they will go back and deliver it to the drone miner, and then they'll come back and forth, and they will get all the stuff you need. So. Let's do the smelter as indicated. That's here. Small smelter. May want to do some more foundation pieces too here. Just kind of thinking ahead a little bit. Let's do like a few more. Not a lot more, just a few more. Because, well, I kind of know what comes, so I'm jumping ahead a little, but I'm preparing for ahead too. And so then you can also press F1 to learn more about things. Yeah, we'll go... Is that good enough? 1, 2, 3... We'll go here, just for argument's sake, for later.
The smelter is more efficient than the inbuilt drop pod smelter, so you should start using this from now on.
Okay.
Another benefit is that we can automate the smelters to make our life easier.
I like that.
For this, you need to connect the drone miner to a smelter by using loaders and conveyor belts.
All right, so we're going to insert in That was the take button. Oh, wait, right. We have to insert manually because it doesn't know whether we want to do xenoferrite or technum. So we're going to just drop some xenoferrite in there, and that'll run. And you can see here, this recipe is a 1-to-1 ratio. So it takes 1 xenoferrite to make 1 plate. So it's already twice as efficient as the one we brought with us. And then we can do take to get the xenoferrite plates that are in there. And we can come over here and we can take. Up arrow is take, down arrow is place. We can take the ore from here if we want to put it into there as well. And it wants us to craft some more stuff, specifically loaders and conveyors. We don't have enough of anything to do anything with. Let's go down here and pick up the rest of these, I suspect. Yeah, take and take. And we're going to not use that anymore. In fact, I'm going to build another smelter just to do the technum smelting, because I don't want to use that recipe anymore for anything else. But for now, I'm going to want to do this here, I think. Should have done the floor pieces first again. Yeah, there. 3 more should be fine for now. I'll build some stairs or something to get up here too, but I just haven't done it yet. Let's do this one here, and then we'll drop the technum into here. Manage inventory, drop that in there. That way it gets a little bit more efficient before we move on with that. So we'll want to set up a miner on the technum as well, but for right now we're just going to do this. Just smelt what we have. Take and take. Let's see. I'm going to drop the rest of the xenoferrite that I have in my pocket in there, and then we can see about crafting those things. 2 loaders. Those are here. And then 20 conveyors. They make 2 per craft, so we can make 10 right away. And then we need to get some more stuff to make machinery parts, which we can find over here. Those take xenoferrite plates, so as I mentioned, we need a crap ton of xenoferrite. So we're just going to take, and take. And in fact, we might even eventually want to have 2 smelters or more on xenoferrite, but for now, this should work out okay, and then we can figure it out. I'm just going to keep stuffing this in here and keep taking. Once you have the recipe kind of assigned, or you have an item in the input, then you can add more to it with the drop button, or the place button, or the add button. But until you have it started, then these can't. If you don't specify the recipe, it doesn't know which item you want. Now, if you only had 1 in your inventory, maybe that would be good. But for now, this is good too. It wanted me to create 20 of these, which seemed a bit much.
It looks like you understand the basics of factory building. Congratulations.
I do.
To advance, we need to start our research program. It will help us unlock new technologies to improve and grow our factory. Build a research server to get started.
Okay. I'm also going to click this F1 just to kind of see what they're talking about here, what they want to show us here. It tells us about how power works. It also shows us how smelters work. We'll get to that when we get to the power, at least. These loaders have indicators to tell you which side you connect to what. I connected the one to these with the port on the front of the on the side of the drone port rather, and then this I'm connecting it. If you don't want to rotate it, you don't have to. I'm connecting it to the side of the smelter here. This one automatically made itself an output, but it's also complaining because there's no conveyor. You can toggle that input to input and output if you want. There's these little arrows now that are new on the surface, so you can see, other than by the color, what type of loader it is. Connecting to a device that only outputs, like a drone miner, will automatically configure it to as an output. Configuring it or connecting it to a device that can do input and output, like a smelter, will automatically configure to intake, and then you have to toggle that yourself. Now, they're both complaining about no conveyor. That's because, well, we didn't run a conveyor. And the conveyors are a little different than we saw in the first version. The first thing is they're shorter. They're like half the height that we saw before. Let me go see if I can stand over here. Maybe you can see it. They're about half the height as we saw before. So that's good for a couple reasons. One, well, because it was a bit, I don't know, a bit much, like, world occupancy-wise to see that big, thick belt. But the other reason is they were able to put this this viewing port in here to show you what's underneath it. And one of the reasons they did this is because sometimes you could have a belt running under something like this, and maybe it's got a piece of technum on it, but it can't pick that technum up to put it into the smelter because this is a xenoferrite smelter, at least until maybe the xenoferrite's all gone, or it has something it completely can't use on it. It's like some stone or something. And then you kind of need to be able to... oh, flashlight time. F? Yeah. Nope, not F. L for light. There we go. You don't know... you didn't know in the old version what was on that belt underneath that loader. So now with this little window here, you can see it. And the window is open in whatever direction the belt is flowing. So if you have a belt like I have here running straight out of one into the other, then the window is on the belts on the side facing each other. But if you have a belt running crosswise, so like from here this way, oops, this way, then the open windows will be where you can see, so like the items can go under the arch there. I hope that makes sense. But this side wall wouldn't be here. It would be this opening, and then there'd be a side wall here, and then there'd be an opening on the other side if the belt was going through, or maybe anyway. So they've kind of done a little bit for both reasons, so that you can see what's on the belt, and they've also done it so that it kind of has this nice little like teleportation effect when it's actually picking up something, which you can't do right now because it's got more in it than it wants. And I might even want to drop some more in it, because that's who I am, and I've got more to give you. Okay, good. So we're now automating xenoferrite plates. We need to do automation for the technum as well, which means we need to have a lot of stuff to make a lot of foundations to set up an area over there where we want to build that setup. So I think I want to do this one right around in here. I want to take this block out, this dirt block. That means we have dirt in our inventory, but hey, you can't always keep it clean, right? Let's do enough drone miner in inventory. Don't know what that message meant. Let's do like 8, maybe, or maybe we can do a couple more over here even. It's fine if it's a little bit much. Eventually we might want to connect these two so we only have to have one smelter, but for now, or one burner rather, but for now we'll be fine with this. I'm just going to collect a little bit more biomass so that we have fuel to burn, and we're ready to go. I guess I could also craft things we're going to need. We're going to need to have a drone miner and a biomass burner, which means we need more xenoferrite. We'll go grab that. That must be something we can destroy, because it trips you up. If it doesn't trip you up when you walk over it, then it's not destroyable. At least that's what I've gathered from both this playthrough and the previous. I also don't know if, or don't remember, if biomass stuff, like plants and stuff, grow back. But the world is huge, possibly infinite, so, I don't know if it's infinite, but possibly. So we're probably, there's probably plenty, but just as a thought. Biomass burner. Okay, we've got plenty of stuff now, I think. These are rocks, so I'm not going to bother picking them up, but... Did I take this one down already? Is it back, or did I just think I did? Let's put number 4 down. That's the drone miner. Yeah, that's fine. Is it? No, actually it's not. Take that down. Let's move it over here a bit more. You can see there the blue highlight telling you which stuff is collectible, or which stuff it's able to collect from. Let's drop this in there, and then we can put up we can move that smelter over here. We're gonna need to have 2 more loaders, and then yeah, we'll go grab that smelter. We'll want to clean it out. Wait, do I have stairs yet? I do not have stairs yet. Alright, we'll wait then. And I'm waiting on doing the next task. You're just about done. I'll let you finish. I will take some more of this. And we'll drop some more in. So 13 more to go. And 1 more. There you go. Let's take this down. keep dumping it in there. And they're all doing their mining. Let's put the smelter up. We want to probably put at least 4 spaces. We could do more. Maybe like that. That is 4 spaces. Let's do more. We did 5 over on the other side. We can do that again. And then we have 2 loaders. So we'll put one of them there and one of them here. And then we can do this again. And that'll be good to go. And this automatically started because it came in via belt. So we didn't have to do anything, any shenanigans there. Excuse me, it just started and worked. So now it wants this research server, and I'm going to put that up someplace. But we have to want to be careful a little bit. I think what I should do, since we don't have stairs yet, is do a little bit of. So we still can do this way. Do a little bit of fake stairs. I want to just do the whole width. We'll do 2, and then we'll do again 2. Move you out of the way. As long as I can connect this, which I can, we'll do this. Oh, I don't have enough blocks. Okay, well, never mind that. Just jump up here. For now, we'll just jump up here. Research server. There we are. Keep collecting these because we need lots of this. And there's my last bits of ore in inventory. So you can have that. Sort it again. And you should have made... You're making... when you craft something and it takes other materials, like this takes electronic components and electronic components, it will auto-craft the materials you need, similar to like what Factorio does. But, so you have to have all the items you need. And you can see the icon when you're crafting that there's like a little sub-icon within the icon, and that is where the components are crafting at.
To advance in research, you will need to build science packs. Craft a few by hand to unlock your first research, the assembler.
Okay. We need to have 3, according to the task here. So let's go find the science packs. Those are here in their own category. 1, 2, 3. And they take machinery parts, which are the xenoferrite plates, or processed from xenoferrite plates, and then also some technum rods to make. So we'll craft 3 of those. In the meantime, we can grab some more of this. And how much technum do I have? 47. That's enough for now, I hope. You got a bit more power left. That's good. And we could drop these in. We need to pick a research as well. We need a research assembler, according to the task. Assembler is also the only thing we can research, so that's kind of convenient. Let's go ahead and do that start button, and then we can drop... well, we have 2 of them already, and we can drop the 3rd one in when it's done. Just watching it craft down there. There we go. And then these will research, just take a moment to research, so we could probably run back over and get some more technum while we wait. We had a few. Yeah, about 50, 60, 70-something%. Okay, let's head back over here. Oh, you can't jump that high. Well, because I needed to build down.
You just unlocked the assembler. This machine will allow you to automate production of more complex items. From here, your top priority should be to automate the production of more science packs.
Okay. So the next thing we can research is, we have 2 things. We can choose basic infrastructure. Actually, let's go back and click on that. We can choose character improvement, which leads to a few things, mostly around how the character works, but also it leads toward Science Pack 2 in conjunction with burner generators, apparently. Then we also have, what else is down here? Steel making and things like that. That's all under Science Pack 2, so that kind of makes some sense. But most of it under here, directly at least, is character-related stuff like drill speed, inventory size, crafting speed, and that's character crafting speed, not machine crafting speed. And then over here we have basic infrastructure, which will unlock containers, conveyor balancers, doors, ladders, lights, stairs, we were talking about those a minute ago, signs, railings, all kinds of that kind of stuff, and also scanning for ignium, which is our 3rd resource. So I think we should do, well, how much do you each take? You take 5 packs, you take 5 packs, it doesn't really matter. Let's do the basic infrastructure. I think that's probably more useful over long term. And for that, we need to have 5 science packs, but the game also wants us to automate them a little bit. So I think we should make a few more of these. What did I open up there? Oh, the tablet with V. Yeah. Make a few more of these and place them. Maybe we'll come out a little bit wider here. Maybe not. 9 by 5? Sure. Although, maybe I want to do a little bit of a step here. Well, a little bit of a step here. For now, we'll make the steps when we can unlock them. And then we want to do an assembler. That's here. One of those. We'll probably want 2 of them eventually, because we'll want to be able to make not only the science packs themselves, but we'll also want to be able to make the other components too. Whatever they took. The machinery parts. So we'll want to have 2 assemblers. We could just do 2 of them now. And then in that case, we'll also want a bunch of loaders if we want to automate this completely. We have plenty of belt. So we can do that. You can see down there also that icon, the sub-icon that's showing you that the components are being crafted. You can come here, and I've already filled up my toolbar, but we'll want to rearrange that over time anyway. And I just fell off. I knew I was going to fall off because this is fairly tall. Landing in a crater with the resources on the edge is probably not an ideal situation, but it's okay. Let's go there, because we need to have at least 4 blocks if we want to do belts. Well, we don't, actually. 3 is all we need. Because I will show you some tricks we figured out from the last one, which is this, and then this, and then you can be an output. And you notice that because an assembler is a input and output machine, it did not automatically select that. And then we want to just do a belt that goes like this. And I reached through the one to get to the other, but you can see what I was talking about earlier, where how the belt is kind of open in the path of travel, I guess is the way to word that. Let's configure this assembler to make science packs, and then we'll have to make another one, which means I'll need to make some more of these foundation pieces, which means we need to have more ferrite plates. Shocking. Because I'll need to make a bit more here. 3 and 3. We have 3, so we need at least 3 more over on this side. 1, 2, 3. And then I want to make this a little bit bigger on the front so that I don't fall off, but I don't have enough stuff. There we go. Let's not fall off this time, Wally. How about that? Let's do a little bit more here, maybe. Alright, and then we can do another pair of loaders here. Or actually, we can put the assembler up too. 3 spaces away. And then the loaders. Output there, input here. Toggle this one. I'm toggling by clicking, by the way. And then a couple pieces of belt. That's all we need. You will make the aforementioned machinery parts. And then I can just drop in what I have, which is not much. Those will get made. Those will get dropped onto the belt. They will beam up into the thing. It's not really an animated effect there, I guess. Or there is with this glowy bit here. Those are coming in here automatically. I need to give you Technum rods as well, because we're not bringing those in via belt yet. Just like we're not bringing in the xenoferrite plates by belt yet. But at least we've got a little bit of automation going on here, which is always an improvement. You're going to need some more, though. And then we can have, science packs being made. What the heck is that recipe for science packs? 10 of those and 8 of those. So it should be crafting one. It is good. Let's go get some more Technum. And then we can grab some more xenoferrite. And then we can do this. Now, we have it all automated, so we should automatically see that research progress up there at the top, progressing. And then we can... so we have it kind of automated. Well, it's not all automated, I guess, because I'm having to feed in materials, but we're doing okay, put it that way. And then you can do this thing. The assemblers still have the same sound effect. I'm not that big of a fan of that, especially when you got a bunch of them in the same area, banging away with that noise. It gets a little bit loud, just like cacophony loud, not necessarily volume loud, but cacophony loud. And so I'd like it if they softened that sound effect somehow. But I mean, it does sound like what it's supposed to sound like, but it's just a bit much in my opinion. Oh boy, we're out of plates again. So we could, by the way, output the plates from here, from the smelter, and run them in some way, and maybe even reverse the order of these 3 machines, and so that they can just be put into this directly. And the same thing goes with the Technum rods, but I just don't feel like we're quite there yet, you know, infrastructure-wise. At this point, it's more just about figuring things out and seeing what we need to do before we actually do what we need to do. You can have some more of these. I don't know that I want to throw all of what I have in there, but I think it's shift-click. Well, you got them all. Okay. Was it control-click? Shift-right-click? There it is. Shift-right-click. Let's do like half of them, and then you can, yeah, that's fine. Looks like we have 3 science packs done, and we're working on the 4th one now. Looks like we have enough of those parts for this, but we don't have it running anymore. It also tells you how fast it can kind of run. This can make 2 science packs per minute, and to do that it needs 20 machinery parts per minute and 16 Technum rods per minute. We know that because we know the recipe is 10 and 8 to make 1, so it's 20 and 16 to make 2. But in terms of the rate, and then this will make 40 machine parts per minute. So one of these could support 2 of these based on the rates there. And we're making the final science pack now. We'll let it make the rest of them. It'll be fine, I think. The other thing is, I don't know if you remember in the previous version, but the research building was huge. It was like a big hut. I'm glad they went with a much smaller building for this one. Even if this is just the first one, they were all pretty huge. Like, they were like... Oh, we're out of power. They were like a... Do I have any on me? I have 5 on me. They were like a big, like 10 by 10 or something huge kind of building. So I'm glad that they have, you know, shrunk those down a little bit, because that was a bit unwieldy, I think, for a new player to, you know, have to make that much foundation because to put it down, or maybe you didn't need the foundation, but I mean, you need the foundation. It just seemed unwieldy, so I'm glad that they made it smaller. Even if the next ones are bigger, this first one being smaller makes sense. Are these? No. Okay. Tree. Squirrel. And mushroom. 4 biomass and a mushroom. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we're not going to pick so many mushrooms then. I'll pick that one. Because it's here. And you too. Cactus. Oh, I missed the jump. Dang. Alright. Alright, so we have researched that. And that was kind of the end of the intro tutorial, though. We're kind of done with that step now. So now we just kind of need to keep doing the research. Let's see. We go here to the research interface, and we can see what else we might want to research next. We could go back and do the character improvement tree if we want. But maybe given my plight and my position, we should do stairs first. Although conveyor balancers would be nice, we probably don't need them yet. Second lane loaders, they're kind of like long-hand inserters from Factorio. They let you reach over one belt to grab from the next one. Or scanning for ignium could be useful as well. But let's start with the stairs just because, well, it needs 15. Wow. And these all need 15 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, you can do the thing then. And there's already some that were made in there. We ran out of these, so let's give you some more of these plates so that you can make some more of those. Not going to last very long, but it's a 1-to-1 ratio at least here. That's good. Where are you at here? Yeah. 1-to-1. So you can crank those out and stuff them in there. Grab some more. Always grabbing more. Maybe I should give you the rest of these rods too. Probably. Yeah, I'll give you the rest of them. We'll go get some more. Let's actually go get some more. And I should do a little step here too once we have the stairs. That'll help. Another 100. Well, yeah, another 100. I didn't look at the number before I clicked the button. I wanted to know after. That I need to do this. I don't have it. Duh. pressing the wrong buttons again. I'm pressing the wrong buttons. I guess that's, to some extent, not very explanatory, and I think I might have thought that when we played before, too. To know that this is to add to the machine, this is to take from the machine. I guess you can kind of imply it from there being like a little tray there, but I don't know. Even like a little word would be nice there to add and take or something like that. Kind of like how the basic smelter at the drop pod had. That would be, I think, even useful. Still working. So, other than exploring, I don't know what there is to do while research is going. I mean, I guess we could, make more stuff to get the research done faster. That would require us to do, of course, more flooring, to have more space, to put more stuff on. I don't know whether that's the thing, I guess the thing we should be doing. But everything you put on these floors all share the same power network, which is kind of a nice feature, so that you don't have to connect up power lines to each building. But at least if I remember correctly from the last version, we didn't have very many of those at all. Are you okay? Oh, I made some foundation pieces. That's right, some floor pieces. If I remember correctly from the last version, it was not very it was not very useful or easy to hook up things like solar panels because of the way that they do high voltage and low voltage and things like that. So hopefully they've made some improvements to that. But at least for this is considered low voltage, this stuff on the floor. At least for this, it's pretty good. And I think maybe it's about time to have a second smelter, but I'm trying to get prepared here to rearrange this a little bit so that we can do a little bit more production. We're not getting much at all out of the xenoferrite. No, not down there. Targeting is, or can be weird, I guess. Yeah, that might be enough room for now. Let's grab whatever we have left of this. We can give it to this one. Get some more of those made. Although you have enough right now, so we're okay. We want to move things around eventually. I don't know what you're at as far as... Oh, it's paused. Okay. So we needed 15. So we are at 3/5 of that right now. So that was 9. Which means we need to have 6 more. That's 1. We have enough stuff for 3 more in here right now. So we need some more technum rods. I have technum rods. Manage inventory. Let's do a shift right click, split, and drop half of those in there again. And then you'll just have to keep making these as we can. And we'll get that straightened out soon enough, I guess. But yeah, another smelter or more would be good. Right now, the drones are only sending out 1 drone every so often because we're not really using a whole lot of ore. In fact, we're only using 20 ore per minute, and these are capable of a lot more. It's telling us what the yield is, not what the capability is. But if we looked at that capability at the very beginning of when we put it down, it would give us more of a feel for what they're. If we looked at that yield number at the very beginning after we put it down, it would give us a little more capability as to what their capability is, or a little more information about their capability. Words, Juan, words. So in that case, we've probably handled at least 3 or 4 of these, if not more, on that miner, though. Given the fact that it's only sending out 1 every so often, that means that we can definitely handle at least 4 because they're not using 1 drone miner to its fullest. Might only be half or something. So, yeah, we need a lot more xenoferrite. I think maybe I should do another smelter first. Which means I need a lot more xenoferrite to do. And that way we can actually just maybe even manually hand it in for right now. And then until we rearrange all of this. Hand feeding again. I mean, I like to do the automation, but when you're in the early game like this, you gotta be able to do things in exactly the right order if you don't want to do any hand feeding. But I'm fine with hand feeding too. Okay, let's just pull. Oh, that wasn't it. Let's just pull 200 of that out, and we can drop that in here, and you can smelt away. The grid says it's strained. We can see the electricity grid here. The biomass generator is only capable of so much, and then we will need another one. I don't know if it says how much it's capable of. 600. So we have to be careful of that. Ah, stairs are done. How about you? Are you making one more? I think we should do a little bit rearrangement here now. F. And that science pack was given to me there because I picked up the belt. Let's actually, yeah, take this up too. Kind of loud. And you can do also Control F to do bulk demolish, and then that'll give you like a thing where you can click and then do a three-dimensional, I think, even grid, or at least a two-dimensional grid like this of things to delete. Yeah, three-dimension come when you click once. You click to establish the 2 dimensions, and then you click again to do the third. And so I think what I want to do here is move this stuff down. Starting with the assembler, though, because that's going to take in the, whatchamacallit, the xenofire plates. We could put that... I could probably just put it here, maybe 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, yeah, right there. And then we could tuck this one over here in this corner, and that'll make the science packs, and then we can put the research server up here someplace. Give it a little more space, because I want to get to that panel every so often. So let's configure this one again for the machinery parts, and let's configure this one again for the science packs. And then finally, we'll configure this one for what research we want to do next, which I think will probably be balancers. Even though we don't have anything ready to go in there. I do have one in my inventory, though. I guess I could give you to let you get started on it. And so then we want to do some other stuff. We want to output, but we want to do a little bit different than this, too, I think. Yes. Let's take this up. Actually, I'm going to take the xenoferret we have in here out so that it stops. And I can also pick up the stuff. Take this out. And that's empty as well. So you can take that out. That'll pick up the plates that were in there too. And then I want to move these in a slightly different position. I want to just put them 2 spaces forward, which is going to be a little bit of a conflict with our stairs here, but we're going to make this platform a bit bigger in a moment when I fall off of it. Perfect. Perfect. There. And then I want to do loaders on each of these, like this. There'll be an intake, and then we need belts, and the belts can go here. And now we should have ore coming in to both of them. Kind of, the same way we do for other things like in other factory games. Basically, the same basic concept. These are much cheaper. Yeah, they're only take the xenoferrite. Good. Let's do Control F. Click. Slide over here. I forgot about that. All right, click there, and then delete that. And then let's do Control F again. Click here. Over this way. I want you to do to this point, and then I want you to do down 1 point. And we'll clear all that stuff out of the way. And then we can grab these stairs. Let's just go to page 2 here for now. Not page 3, page 2. And we can put up some stairs here. Although, maybe I should do some more platforms first. More platforms. Let's just make this big square. It's fine. Big square. And then we can do the stairs here. And I'll just do a few, maybe like 2 or 3 wide, just like that for here. That's much better. Much, much better. Okay, and so then now we have smelting going on. We can output smelting to the front or to another place. It doesn't really matter. The front is fine though, as long as you are cognizant of it. If we had the second lane ones, we could do them out the back with the second lane, but this is fine. And then we want to just do a belt like this, and maybe we want to do. Let's plan as if we had more here, so just go to there, although that's not actually what I wanted. And then let's do another belt here. You can see it automatically will put the curve in there, and we'll do this here, and then we can have one more loader over here, and that'll be an intake, and it'll start making these things once again. I want some more loaders. 1, 2, 3, 4 for now. We can do the same thing we had before here. Well, I'm gonna need some more belt too. Like a bunch of. We can output back there, maybe intake here. I'll have to toggle this, of course, just like that. I did toggle both of those, right? Yes, I did. And then we can do the belt once we have belt here, and that'll automatically bring these in here. Except I did it backwards. Oh, there. There. Excuse me. Sorry. This way. There we go. And then I can drop in my xenoferrite for now, or my technum right now, but I don't have any. We'll need to belt that over from all the way over here, which means we'll have to build up to it. For now, we can just hand carry what we can. This is probably stopped because it's been a while. It is. Take 200. And that'll give us a little bit for a little while. And then we'll have to just run a long belt over here eventually. For this, we can do this one. I'm going to do these on the far back side here just so we can get in here easily enough. I want that one to be an output, just like we did before. And then we can do a straight belt between the two. And that should take care of you. Strained grid. Yeah, I'm sorry. Poor grid. It's getting there. We'll have to put down another biomass burner pretty soon. Are you outputting? You are. Okay, great. So that's kind of working. We just need to still hand carry the technum for now, but we'll bring that over and we'll plug that into this machine somehow, and we can do that in the next episode. And then we'll have a little bit more automation here for the future. As we keep going, we'll want to, of course, keep improving on this. Whatever that amounts to, we'll see. But as you can see, this is easily keeping up. It says that it yielded 60 last minute. It should be doing 40, because these are 20 and 20, so it should be doing 40. It must have just gotten behind or mistimed things or whatever, but it should be averaging about a 40 yield, depending on how much these are outputting, although they should be buffering a little while. Yep, they're buffering. So we'll see what happens in the next episode. We'll get a little more done, maybe, and then we can, see where the game goes, what else is new, and what else has changed. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.